We're going to discuss the depth of the squat, some common myths that are associated with it as far as the butt wink, which is the change of positioning of your pelvis as you're going down through the squatting motion, as well as how deep is a safe depth to go through. A lot of that's going to be governed by your hip range of motion, so without getting into too much of the specifics of why certain people can go to different depths, basically I want to go as low as my hips will let me. So as I come down, my goal is to keep my spine in mostly a neutral position, and when I run out of hip motion, that's as low as I can go. As far as loading the different muscles in my legs, you're not going to get anything better out of the squat by going deeper if it comes at a cost of you flexing or putting your back in a position that's not ideal. So as I get into my squat position, and as you'll see in later videos, we talk about how you assess some of where your feet and hips should be. I want to come down as far as I can, keeping my spine in a neutral. So when I start off in standing, a lot of times I have people do a self-check to see, how does it feel when I bring my pelvis all the way forward? How does it feel when I bring my pelvis all the way back? Typically, I want people to be a little bit more into the butt tucked under them or the posterior pelvic tilt. I don't really want to go to the extreme of it, but I want to err more on the side of that because most people will tend to hyperextend when they squat. So as I start off in this position and I find that little bit of a tucking my hips underneath me, at that point I want to try and maintain that with a little lower abdominal tension as I drop down into this squat. So as I come down, I want to try and keep my spine as stable as I can. And then I'll get to a point here where I feel like my back starts to flex or my butt starts to drop underneath me. That's me running out of hip range of motion. So right about here is where I want to stop, because if I go below that, I'm going to load my spine in a way that I shouldn't and leave myself open to some force at my back that could cause injury. So once I get to right where I'm short of that back moving, that's my squat depth, and that's where I'm going to drive up from. Okay, so once again, from the front, I position my feet in an angle that allows me to get the most out of my hip range of motion. I create that lower abdominal tension, and then I drop down, keeping my spine in that neutral, and I'll start to feel a little bit of pressure in my hip. That's my signal to stop and drive through my hips back up. So that's how you avoid the butt wink and assess how deep you should go with your squat.